Right. So before I kick this off, I need to set a few ground rules. We are going to try and be balanced. We are going to try and be nuanced. We are going to try and be rational. My emotions are not feeling that way. Reading this, these spoilers come from the Digimon subreddit, thanks to a full synopsis from Twitter from somebody who's seen an early preview. It will be linked down below, but for some ground rules, we are going to try and not descend into full Adam Rage. Just don't hold me to that because this is going to be tough. And I'm sorry. But in advance, I am sorry for hurting your feelings. And more importantly, I'm sorry for hurting my feelings. That's, I think that's all I have to say about that. So if I have an intro queued up, let it play here. If not, let's just get on with it. I probably don't. So following on from Try, the Digidestined are grown up and they are dealing with Digimon related incidents. One such incident shows Taichi, Takaru, and Hikari getting chased by Parrotmon in Nakano. So, yay, a Parrotmon in the real world. We are member burying already from the original adventure movie and the origin story from the Ultimate Clash in season one. Anjumon fight Parrotmon. Greymon joins the fight. Buildings get demolished. A part of a building falls, about to hit people. Garurumon appears with Yamato, getting rid of that building. Then Metal Greymon, Wergarurumon, and the Angels beat Parrotmon, sending it back to the digital world. Okay, so it took three ultimates and a champion to put away this Parrotmon. Drama, I guess. It just makes the kids seem awfully weak. And even then, I guess calling them the kids is a bit. Can't really do that anymore until the reboot series rolls around, but I'm still not sure how much I like it taking three ultimates and a champion to put away this Parrotmon, especially when everybody can evolve to Mega now, right? Uh, but I guess you didn't want to rehash the original adventure movie completely by having Greymon just do all the work. So, and for context, I haven't seen this movie yet, so I can't put visuals to it, and that's another ground rule. Even with officially shared screenshots of certain things, I'm not going to be putting any visual cues in the movie because I don't want to risk spoiling it for those who want to at least enjoy it with an open mind. Although, if you're watching this, why? Please don't click away. Anyway, so after the first battle, Taichi goes to college, but he is not decided about his future, which is strange because I thought he had. I thought that was one of the whole things at the end of Try, where Taichi's going to grad school and he's focusing on his future and following Daigo's advice. I thought that was a thing, but again, without context of the movie itself, I can only go by the synopsis in front of me. So I won't harsh on that. Um, Taichi and Yamato meet at a pub and they talk about how the other kids are doing. Koshiro runs his own company, which we all saw that coming, even in Try, right? He's basically running a company from he has an office, right? So, and I think we know that from the future, from the epilogue in 02 as well. He ends up running some kind of company, and his daughter is part of the company or something. I need to go back and hurt myself with the epilogue. So Koshiro runs his own company, communicating with the International Digidestined. Sora is seriously doing ikebana or flower arranging, which is cool. We saw that not just in the epilogue, but the little prologue prequel thing that came out last week that I didn't really talk about because it was okay. I, but I will bring it up as we go further into these spoilers because there is a bit of context to it. So before you watch Kizuna, you need to watch this to Sora, I think it was called, or from Sora to Mimi, whatever. There's this little 5-6 minute little prequel video they did about Sora doing flower arranging, and she's talking with Mimi on the phone about her worries and how she's going to bow out of the battles going forward. She doesn't want to be a Digidestined anymore. She wants to focus on, her future and following the family business and all these things. And looking at the prequel on its own, you're like, oh, okay, but you're going to get wrapped up in the story anyway, and you're going to find your place in the world again and learn how to balance, you know, these things that you want to do. Right? Right? Not according to this. So, yeah, so Mimi has a website selling clothes. Again, you see that in the Sora prequel. Joe is in med school, which is awesome. Well done, Joe. So Taichi is worried about his undecided future. Takeru and Hikari are students, with Takeru starting to write novels, which is again something we see in the 02 epilogue. He started writing novels about all their adventures, and he's this, world renowned author because of it. And cool. So they're still slowly but surely building themselves towards this epilogue from 02, and trying not to just non-canonize the thing. Or I think this is, if there's anything the reboot is going to benefit from, I think it's not being withholden to the 02 epilogue. I think if anything good comes out of the adventure reboot, it's that they can possibly build these characters without some sort of set in stone future restraint. So whether the adventure reboot gets its own version of 02 after, if it does well, or its own version of Try or Kizuna, or if they have similar, or they say, oh yeah, this happened, but with these changes, I don't know. It could be fun. I would love to see Ken and Mako, be retroactively worked into the adventure reboot. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could be a fun little touch. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So Yamato tells Taichi that he's thinking of grad school, and they overhear some girls saying that they don't want to grow up. And then a different girl suddenly collapses. She's not drunk though, she just collapses. So Yamato calls an ambulance. Taichi, Yamato, and Takeru gather in Koshiro's office. They meet Minoa, who is the genius girl from the trailers that I have up on the channel. Minoa tells them about Eosmon. Eos, end of service, EOS. Oh, okay. I think it's also Greek. Eos is also Greek, I think. But anyway, so Eosmon is collecting Digidestin consciousness. The consciousness is, the writer then goes on to say consciousness is too long to type, so I'll just call it a soul. So it's basically a soul reaver or reaper. Could be both. Minoa asks them to defeat Eosmon to get the souls back. Eosmon stores the souls. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Minoa leads them to where Eosmon is hiding. Greymon, Kabuterimon, Garurumon, Angemon fight Eosmon. They almost get him, but Eosmon evolves, becoming super fast by summoning some kind of panel to step on, boosting its speed. Not entirely sure, but it sounds very reminiscent of the original Diablomon fight, particularly considering who's involved in the fight: Greymon, Kabuterimon, Garurumon, Angemon. It's very, I don't want to call it all member berries, but it is very, they go into the internet and the four kids fight this monster who, one ups them because he's able to evolve faster than they can. So that's interesting, I think. But again, without context of the movie, visually, I can't do a direct comparison, but just based off what's written here, it sounds very. We've kind of done this, and I don't have enough faith in the writing team to say history is repeating itself with a purpose. So, moving on, Taichi and Yamato decide to go to Omegamon against the evolved Eosmon. Omegamon destroys all the speed boosting panels. Omegamon's about to finish off Eosmon, but suddenly struggles and goes back to Koromon and Sunamon. Eosmon escapes. Okay, Manoa tells Taichi that his time with Agumon is running out, and the clock shape appears on Taichi and Yamato's Digivices. So this is the little, I guess, the golden countdown thing that we've seen on the back of their phones in the trailers, and I guess it counts for the broken Digivice thing that's releasing at the end of the month. And like a sucker, I'm going to pre-order. Anyway, um, anyway, so Manoa tells Taichi his time with Agumon is running out, and the clock shape appears on Taichi's and Yamato's Digivices. Koshiro and Takeru are okay because they are still younger than Taichi. This sets up something quite scary for down the road, especially when we get to the ending. And it's going to leave me with a lot more questions, and I think by the end of this, you're going to find yourself wondering, oh no, either oh no or hold on a minute, why? Why bother? But we'll see. After the Eosmon encounter, Koshiro tries to examine the destroyed parts of Eosmon. Yamato suspects Manoa and her assistant, so Yamato keeps an eye on them and asks the 02 kids to background check Manoa and her assistant Kyotaro. Okay. Taichi comes back to his room, not his old home. He's got a place near the college now, which is cool, spreading his wings, moving into his own place. Awesome. Agumon finds some porn magazines. Wait, what? And Taichi tells Agumon that the porns are for adults only. He then freezes because he has to part with Agumon when he becomes an adult. So there's literally a countdown timer waiting for this guy to strike 18. Or 21? I don't know. Time frames are a bit off. It's probably 18. My time frames are off mentally. This is set in the year 2007, I want to say. I could be wrong there, but basically he's becoming the age of an adult, so his Digimon has to go away. That's been a thing, but again, as I've said before, the stakes here are kind of bull because of the 02 epilogue. So it's like there's no reason to become invested in these stakes. Oh no, at the strike of midnight on Taichi's birthday, he's an adult and can no longer have a Digimon. Because we've seen in the 02 epilogue that they go on to be UN digital world diplomats together, and Agumon in a suit is kind of adorable. But yeah, but anyway, this is what they're running with. So let's just move on. Then the real Genai appears from Taichi's computer. Not the evil Genai from Tri, but the real one. He confirms that Manoa's theory is true and leaves Taichi. He does nothing for the rest of the movie. So, Genai cameo appearance, and it sounds like it's going to be, Obi-Wan Kenobi Genai, not ancient old man Genai. So, whoops. Well, not whoops, but I think the fan service is better suited to it being older Genai, but considering we did have the evil younger one running around during during Tri, who looked more like the Genai from 02, it is what it is. Genai is Genai. Anyway, Yamato finds Kyotaro arming himself with a handgun, and there are photos of Digidestined in Kyotaro's place. The 02 kids search Manoa and Kyotaro's history. Manoa was a Digidestined who lost her partner when she became mature, and Kyotaro is a fake name. Yamato thinks that Kyotaro is a bad guy. Okay, so Manoa is a Digidestined who lost her partner and has suddenly appeared to the kids. So we're rehashing the Maki thing from Try already. So she's this government agent who used to be a Digidestined but lost her partner. Okay, why did we have to kill Maki off and Try? Could we not have just continued her story and made this more of her attempts to see Bakuman again? But I suppose with Daigo being dead, by way of explosion, um, it's just you're just rehashing you're rehashing things you did yesterday. Basically, I know Try was a bit further back than yesterday, but you get my meaning. Like, this is the most recent thing you've done, and you're already rehashing it in this story, which is kind of maybe that was another take, but this basically feels like a redo of Try, but including the 02 kids and not keeping them in a cupboard, for 6 movies. But okay. Anyway, Yamato thinks that Kyotaro is a bad guy because he was arming himself with a handgun and he has photos of the Digidestined. Right. Mimi is checking on her products to sell and she collapses. She is the first of the 8 to lose their souls. Taichi, Yamato, and Koshiro meet Joe at the hospital. Joe tells them about Mimi's condition. So, obviously, Mimi's soul has been taken by Eosmon. Taichi, Yamato, Koshiro share their facts. Yamato gives Koshiro and Taichi prepaid phones to use to avoid being heard by Kyotaro. Interesting, so burner phones in case their actual ones have been tapped or bugged. Then somebody uploads live streaming of a kidnapped Takeru and Hikari. What? Okay, it's very badly translated here, but somebody uploads a live stream of Takeru and Hikari being kidnapped. So Taichi and Yamato rush to rescue them. It's too late. Kyotaro was waiting on Yamato. Takeru and Hikari's souls are already taken. Yamato and Gabumon are about to attack Kyotaro. But at the same time, Koshiro finds out Eosmon's hideout and the truth. Manoa comes into Koshiro's office. Kyotaro is an FBI agent, and Manoa is the villain and creator. Huh. Okay, so Kyotaro is actually a good guy. Manoa is a psychopath, and Manoa created Eosmon. So we really are just redoing Try, because Maki, while she didn't create a partner for herself, she was helping homeostasis with the reboot, or Dark Jedi working for homeostasis on the reboot, for the purpose of seeing her own partner again. Right. Okay, sure. So Koshiro finds out that Eosmon is an artificial Digimon and traces it back to Manoa's past studies. So Manoa reveals her true self to Koshiro. Eosmon takes Koshiro's soul, and Manoa steals the list of all the Digidestined in the world from Koshiro. And that was the list that Manoa wanted. Koshiro sent the coordinates of Eosmon's hideout to Taichi right before his soul is taken by Eosmon. Taichi and Yamato go to face Eosmon again. Manoa and Eosmon were waiting for them. Welcome to the Neverland, Manoa tells Taichi that the kids' souls taken by Eosmon can stay together with their Digimons forever in Eosmon's area. I guess he creates a cyberspace for them or something. But okay, all the other kids' souls got their own floating crystal islands, asleep along with their Digimon. The kids' souls are younger than their reality, and Mako and Mekumon are there as well, asleep. Aww. So this implies one of two things. So the kids are younger than in reality, which is a member berry back to a plotline in Hurricane Touchdown fair enough. Makomon and Mekumon are there too. So either in the time between either in the time between Try and Kizuna, Mekumon was restored and Mako got her partner back, or Aelsmon just got to Mako, took her soul, and in this created cyberspace area of Aelsmon's, Mekumon is there. Either way, I'm happy to see Best Kitty back. I liked Mekumon. F you. um, so I like Mekumon, and so it's good to see, at least try being referenced as having actually happened within the continuity. Because Omegamon is the only mega level aside from War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, we don't see any of the other kids' megas. So, yeah, what's with that? Anyway. And where was I? Yeah. So the kid souls are younger than in reality. Mako and Mekumon are there as well. Menoa tells Taichi that she is the savior of all Digidestined. Okay. And that she can save them from parting with their partner Digimon. And she was deeply hurt when her partner suddenly disappeared. Again, similar to Maki. So we're retreading that story again, and Taichi and Yamato hesitate. Greymon and Garurumon attack Aelsmon. The other kid souls and their partner Digimons wake up with red eyes. They disrupt Greymon and Garurumon. Menoa tells Taichi that they are not controlled. They are just trying to protect Aelsmon's world to be able to stay with their partners. Which is an interesting touch. The red-eyed Digimon do not evolve. Tentomon, Palamon, Patamon, Tailmon. Strangely, not Mekumon. That would have been nice to include Mekumon. Menoa summons an army of Aelsmon. Okay, so it's the Diablomon thing again. Taichi and Yamato are desperate and hopeless. They retreat to somebody's floating island, name not given, just random person floating island. Okay. So Menoa freely sends her army to the real world. She knows where all the Digidestined are. She has Koshiro's list. And in the real world, the 02 kids fight the Aelsmons. So that's also a Revenge of Diablomon reference, I guess, with all the... I need to rewatch that movie. My memory's a bit hazy on the Revenge of Diablomon movie. But there were multiples of Kurumon in the real world. And then there was a whole thing about sending them back to cyberspace. I don't think they became an army of... Maybe they did. Maybe they became an army of something, and that's what spawned Armageddonmon. I need to go back on the context of that, but it's a nice allegory to the two Diablomon movies, in a way, that the 01 kids would fight Aelsmon in cyberspace, and the 02 kids would fight it in the real world. It's either way, whether for specifics aside, it is an allegory for those movies. I feel, but again, without context of the visuals in front of me, I'm kind of spitballing based on the synopsis I have, but that's how it reads to me at the very least. So Taichi, Yamato, Agumon, and Gabumon, they do a pep talk, the power of friendship, yada yada. They are determined and ready to risk everything. They come back to face Menoa and Aelsmon. Omegamon destroys Aelsmon like it did to the Diablo clones. So we're going to get to the Diablomon clones. So we're going to get that big old scene again of the Transcendent Sword swinging out and murdering, hundreds of thousands of things, and then the Supreme Cannon doing the rest, or Grey Sword or Garuru Cannon, if you prefer. Menoa screams in despair. Aelsmon takes in Menoa. Absorbing her, Aelsmon evolves. So the final form of Aelsmon It literally cuts Omegamon into pieces. This is its last resort. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Agumon and Gabumon fall. I like this idea, and it's sort of been introduced recently, where if you cleave through an evolve form, a younger form falls out of it. That's interesting, I think. Because that happened with uh, Ordinemon in Try as well. When Jessmon cuts through it, Tailmon falls out. That's no Mekumon didn't, but it's this nice little idea that I think is cool because it's a way of saving the partner, even though you've destroyed a higher form of it. Normally, you would think, oh, it's the same data, and like killing Omegamon should kill Agumon and Gabumon by proxy, but you can argue by way of power saving, they're able to revert to smaller forms and come out of it relatively unscathed. So I actually don't hate that idea. I think it's interesting. Uh, but as in regards to Last Resort, Taichi and Yamato are assaulted by the other kids, Red-Eyed Souls, and their partner Digimon. Taichi is not giving up. He grabs younger Hikari's soul's whistle, blows into it, and Hikari and the others come back. So again, harkening back to the first adventure movie, blowing the whistle, the kids all heard it. They rallied behind Taichi. Greymon woke up. Blew Parrotmon away. Remember, kids. um, Sora, yeah, yeah. Sora is in the real world, in her hometown. She's safe. But she somehow heard the whistle and did not join in the battle. She made a firm choice not to fight anymore. Again, I alluded to that back in the prequel thing that I talked about. And no, I'm sorry for Sora fans. She is committed to this not fighting anymore thing that came up in the prequel. That sucks. That sucks. You remember when the whole big thing about Try was Joe not wanting to fight anymore because, it was getting too sad to reunite with the Digimon, fight alongside them, the Digimon go away. And he had to make a decision between growing up and becoming an adult or being a Digidestined. Remember that? Remember that was a whole plot line in Try? And eventually he sort of came to his senses and realized, he's one of the only people that can do this. They just sort of they gave that whole plot line the middle finger with this, I feel. It's I actually hate this. I actually vehemently hate this. So so where was I? Sorry, I broke into a fit of laughter, and so you got a Cherrymon mustache break because I think I died for about 5 minutes. So I just cut it out. You guys, I hope you enjoyed the mustache break in the video there. So Sora's in the real world. She's at home safe, but she somehow hears the whistle. She doesn't join the battle as per the prequel short, but she believes in the other kids and just waits for their return. Just, rather than rushing into battle, rather than helping her friends, no, the entire Joe subplot from Try, big ol' middle finger to it, and Sora just goes, nah, I'll stay at home. So Sora and Piomon, they do nothing, absolutely nothing for the movie. That is gross. And if you're a Sora fan, I am so sorry for you. I am so sorry. Really, I am. Um, Anyway, so Kabuterimon, Togemon, Ikakumon, Anjumon, Anjawomon start to fight the final Aosmon, rather than Heracles Kabuterimon, Rosemon, Vikemon, Seraphimon, and Magnadramon, or Holydramon, sorry. Um, no, no, no. A bunch of champions and an ultimate start to fight this final Aosmon, and they're kind of buying time for Agumon and Gabumon. Taichi, Yamato, Agumon, Gabumon, they're still having the power of friendship, will never give up on each other, and they achieve their final evolution. Korega ore Taichi no Saigo no Shinkara. I've probably botched that, but that's what's in front of me. Korega ore Taichi Saigo no Shinkara. Whatever. Honestly, the final evolutions, the writer here, they sound awful, basically, from what we've been told. There's no biomerging, so Taichi and Agumon don't fuse. The final Greymon, the final Greymon looks like a naked Shine Greymon, and that is a visual I did not need. Thanks for that. That's a visual I didn't need. And the final Garurumon looks like Wolfmon, so from season 4, which just sounds lazy. That just it. Again, I've no visuals to give a proper comment on that, but Naked Shine Greymon and Wolfmon as the final evolutions for Agumon and Gabumon, like these evolutions that exceed War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, or exceed Omegamon. I don't like how they sound. Maybe when I see the visual representation, I'll feel differently on it, because I will be reviewing the movie, once I have the visual context to be able to put to it. But this just sounds stupid. And of course, they defeat the final Aosmon, and Minoa comes out of Aosmon's body. The Aosmon incident is over. Kyotaro, as an FBI agent, arrests Minoa. Everything's back to normal, but nothing can stop the clock. Agumon and Gabumon disappear. Taichi and Yamato cry, and then we see Taichi has moved on, living his daily life without Agumon, firmly believing they will be reunited. And the movie ends. So this isn't Taichi and Agumon's final adventure. They are clearly sequel baiting this to be able to put another movie in where they've restored Agumon and Gabumon. It's kind of terrifying, though, because now all the other kids, know that there is a clock on this. There is a countdown timer that once they hit 18 or 21 or whatever, that it's done. That's it. No more Digimon for you. But so the kids are on a countdown timer, but we as the audience know it's a load of horseradish, because the 02 epilogue exists, where everybody has a Digimon partner and everybody's happy and everybody's kids have Digimon partners. So why should I buy into this? If it's advertised as Taichi and Agumon's final adventure, and if they didn't pull off this, if they didn't do it as BS toward the end, where nothing can stop the clock, they could have gone on, lived their lives. You run into the epilogue, and and that's it. Adventure on the original timeline, goes out with a whimper rather than in a blaze of glory. And then you just let the adventure reboot fix everything. I'm not going to descend into Adam Rage, but I am highly, highly annoyed just with this. Now, again, as I've said, maybe I'll feel better once I've seen it, but that doesn't seem likely. The movie is a hodgepodge of all the other movies together, and it's redoing Try. I mean, Menoa and Kyotaro are basically Maki and Daigo with less personality because you've had to cram 6 movies of Try into 2 hours or however long this is. Maybe it's only an hour and a half. I don't know. But there's a lot of retreading here. The writing is awful. The member berries are blatant. I'm only happy I'm going to be able to see Ken and Wormmon again. I might not like Ken's new hair, especially considering in the epilogue he has his old hair. But at least I get to see Ken and Wormmon again, and that's going to be my favorite part of the film. It's amazing to me to think that as much as I detest Zero Two, because I've said before, in my personal opinion, you're free to disagree, and I don't think anything less of you for disagreeing, because you know you shouldn't, I shouldn't, and you shouldn't think any less of me for not liking a thing you like. Um, Zero Two falls off a cliff after Ken stops being evil. The plot stops making sense. There's about 10 plots going on at once, and they don't know how to resolve any of them. And then Black War Greymon sucks all the will and joy, all the goodwill and joy out of the show. And I've said that countless times, and I hold true to those statements. This, I don't even know what to make of this. Like, the we'll never see our partners again thing. We did that in Try, right? The reboot, the memory thing. Um, the psycho lady who lost her partner and is now, out to get her partner back by any means necessary, or stop others from experiencing the same thing. We're doing that again. Uh, the fights with Eosmon reflecting movies with Diablomon in in our war game and Revenge of the Diablomon. Okay, the Parrotmon reference for the original adventure movie short. Nobody achieving mega level except Ty and Matt is gross. It is gross because there's no stakes there. It just makes it sound like, oh no, he's more powerful than Omegamon, rather than, oh no, he's more powerful than all of our Mega Digimon put together. Or I don't know, maybe you bring in Merciful Mode to show that it wasn't a once-off Deus Ex Machina. Maybe Eosmon beats Merciful Mode, and that's why you have to go beyond or get a final evolution. Like, Agumon burst mode at the end of Savers makes more sense than this. And that shouldn't be the case, because Agumon burst mode is an ass pull of ass pulls, and I love Savers, and I'll admit that. Agumon burst mode is the ass pull of ass pulls. But I'm curious to know what you think after listening to me ramble on for, the better part of 40 minutes. I'm curious to know what you think. So do drop a comment down below. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me that my opinion doesn't matter. Tell me everything you told me when I gave out about the adventure reboot. You know, do all that again because quite frankly, I enjoyed the metrics. Thank you very much for making that video a relative success on this smaller channel. If you are going to echo chamber my sentiment, it's probably a bad term to use, but like, if you agree with the sentiment that I have that this movie could have been so much better rather than a rethread or a rehash, or they could have made the stakes mean something even with the epilogue. The epilogue is a brick wall that the truck that is the adventure classic timeline is about to smash into, and it can't delay that for far much longer. It cannot delay that any longer. So it needs to mon up and make a decision. Either the epilogue is canon and we're veering off into a new timeline, which is then spoiled by the adventure reboot, or this is all a huge plot twist And the adventure reboot is going to be the timeline in which Try and Kizuna are based. How would that be for a swerve? I sort of hypothesized that this Aosmon thing may be related to the adventure reboot, and maybe they go into a dream world thing and it ends with a fight with Aosmon or something. Obviously, that isn't the case based on what we've read out. But what if it's still a huge swerve and Try and Kizuna are based on the new timeline rather than the classic? How cool would that be? I wouldn't have so many problems with it then if that was the case. Well, I'd still have a few. I'd still have a few nitpicks, but at least you're not trying to write yourselves out of a hole that you don't want to acknowledge with the Adventure Classic timeline, I suppose. But anyway, I'm getting off track, and I need to wrap this up. So, regardless of whether you agree with me or you don't, I'd love to have a conversation with you. So, drop those comments down below. Thumbs up the video, thumbs it down. Like, if you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like my thoughts on this spoiler review, let me know. Tell me why. Tell me what it is about what we have in front of us and my response to it that you don't like. Or if you do, how would you improve it? How would you do this movie better? Let's have a conversation. And with that, we are done. Thank you very much. And I think we could all do with another little break. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and take care.